Now, there are real challenges after the reunification to rebuild relationships, language abilities, and sometimes those are never rebuilt, to be frank.
You have a very good point because when abductions happen, I'm sure a lot of left behind parents will have the same experience, but a lot of people around you will say, oh, yeah, well, once they turn 18, don't they have their own choice? Maybe you can start talking to him then. Just patiently wait until that day comes. But in reality, you're right. Uh, it's not just that some cases they don't get to reunite. From what I've seen, most cases the child would not even care about that other left behind parent because to them it's a stranger. And like you said, a lot of times they would have been told that this other parent is a very evil person. They would be indoctrinated with some negative um, images and ideas about the other parent. And having some other adult wanting to see you when you have no memories of them, it's weird. If you
Yeah.
think about it, it's almost creepy to that child that grew up without knowing that parent. So, understandably, these children who now became adults at that point, they will refuse to even acknowledge the fact that the worldview that they had growing up, the the so-called truth that they were told when they were younger was all a lie. It's hard to acknowledge the fact that they grew up in a total lie and their life was a total their life is totally fake from the fundamental level. That's too much for the child. So understandably, these children will just avoid that situation. I wouldn't want to, I mean, I guess it depends on the child or the person. Maybe once they grow up at a certain age, maybe they will want to know a little bit about their past. Maybe they will like to dig into the past a little bit. But in most cases, they will have their own, challenges of life, their own, jobs, school, busy life. You don't want to dig into the painful memories. You don't want to learn that your entire childhood was all a lie.
You're absolutely right. And I've talked to a number of young adults who were abducted as children and realized it later on. I mean, let's think back when we were 18, 19, 20. Those were not easy years. You graduated from high school, you have to decide your career path, what you're going to study at university. You've become an adult, you have independence, but also responsibility. That's a very emotional and hard time during our lives. So these young adults have told me, hey, it's just too painful. It's too painful to go in and dig deep and really think about the fact that one of their parents took them from another parent. And you're right. They tell me, this is anecdotal, that, they really would rather just kind of keep going on with their life and studying and going out with their friends because they don't want to go into that deep pain. And then there's another issue is there's a fear of then the emotions and often the anger they have towards the parent that did that to them. So they have one parent they don't know, and they question whether, and again, this is anecdotal evidence that I'm getting from young adults who've been through this, is what they're telling Find My Parent, that the parent that was left behind, they have no idea if what mom, dad said about that parent is true. Does that parent love me? Does that parent want me? So it's like this huge risk if I'm going to go try and meet this parent and reunite and build a relationship. I have no idea if it will even be a good relationship because of everything I've been told. And at the same time, if I do that, I'm putting my relationship with the abducting parent, the parent I've known my entire childhood, I'm putting that at risk because that parent, regardless whether you're 18, 19, 20, 30, 40, probably not going to be too happy when the child is going and building the relationship with the left behind parent. So there's a lot of emotions that they just don't want to deal with, and I don't blame them. And then there's this fear of, being rejected. And a lot of them that I talk to also, they're so angry with the abducting parent, but they often still rely on them financially, maybe college tuition. Some countries, it's not uncommon to live with your parent until you get married. And so they're like, I can't do anything to piss them off, even if I'm 19, 20, and if I go build a relationship with my left behind parent, that abducting parent is not going to be happy. So yeah, these are not just issues that go away with the click of a button because the child has turned 18. They're real, they last forever. And my opinion, the best way to fix them is resolving abduction cases very early on, within 6 months as supposed to be done by the Hague, so that that's when children are going to have the least amount of trauma that, really stays with them for a long time.
Yeah. Yeah, that would be most ideal. When that is not met, then the left behind parent is also stuck in this situation where the damage is going on in real time, and there's no way you can stop it. Damage is to your life, your future, and the child's future, and those damages that can never be undone. Like, how can you? There's no way you can turn back the time and rectify it. There is no way. And to some people, it's their life. And that's what child abduction does. It just ruins somebody's entire life. And it might be a cliche, but like our life is a precious thing. And why leave somebody to suffer through their life with this identity crisis and the doubt about their self value or their origin as a child of a parent? So I think the significance is a lot more than what people would easily tend to think.